Israel shells the Gaza Strip for a second day running. We'll have that and more right here, right now on the News Hub. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Simon Constable, and we're very lucky we've got Charles Levinson with the Wall Street Journal on the phone from Tel Aviv in Israel. Charles, what exactly has been happening?
Well, the conflict has expanded pretty dramatically today. We had Palestinian militants have fired rockets deeper into Israel than ever before. One narrowly missed Tel Aviv, appeared to have landed in the sea just off the southern Tel Aviv coast. It set off alarm sirens in the city for the first time since the 1991 Gulf War. Israel has called up reserves and has sent reinforcements of tanks and soldiers to the Gaza border, standing ready for a ground invasion if one's ordered. We had 3 Israelis killed in a Palestinian rocket strike today. Palestinian death toll has risen to 15 as Israel has continued to pound the Gaza Strip with airstrikes and artillery shelling.
How likely is it that Israel will invade Gaza? I mean, what are the parameters by which they will decide whether they're going to invade?
It's really hard to know what the calculations inside the Israeli military leadership are. They say they won't stop until Hamas and the other factions, Palestinian factions, stop firing rockets at Israel, but they're showing no sign of doing that at this point. If past history is any indication, it takes a real punishing Israeli offensive to really sort of beat these factions in submission. And it's not, it remains to be seen whether these sort of relatively limited airstrikes will do the job or whether this will escalate into something bigger and badder.
Now, Charles, this is coming shortly after Israel and Syria have been exchanging shelling or exchanging fire. Does this sort of lead to a massive sense of tension within Israel? What's the mood there? You're right there.
Well, the Syria stuff was far more limited in scope, and it appears to have been, likely accidental, at sort of a, catching stray fire from, with Israel catching stray fire from the Syrian military's confrontation of rebels there. Still, it does underscore, just how much uncertainty the Arab Spring uprisings has injected into the region. The unrest in Syria and the limited exchanges of fire that is provoked in the north is coupled with the role that the new Egyptian government, led by the Islamist Mohammed Morsi, is playing in this conflict. The Egyptian government says they're going to send the prime minister and a delegation of senior Egyptian officials to Gaza tomorrow in the middle of the conflict, which could really force Israel to, either scale back its military operations or risk, injuring or causing harm to that delegation, which could have, untold, consequences on Israel's relationship with Egypt and those two countries, 3 decades old peace treaty.
Now, what are people inside Israel doing to protect themselves from the rocket fire?
Well, the vast majority of the rockets, are hit the southern portion of Israel, an area around the Gaza Strip. In that area, life has come to a standstill. Schools have shut. People are remaining indoors or close to shelters. The close call in Tel Aviv today is really sort of really unprecedented, and Tel Aviv citizens were pretty stunned when they heard the sirens, and that may have been just a sort of a rare one-off, but if it proves not to be, if the Palestinian militants prove they can hit Tel Aviv, and if indeed missiles do start hitting Tel Aviv, sort of the commercial and cultural capital of Israel, it's really hard to, it could be a real game changer, really force Israel's hand, in taking, far more drastic measures to stop this.